Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down. Welcome to the C.R.O.W.N series. Today we're going to dive into our first edition of the C.R.O.W.N series, the En Passant edition. This is the series where I want to talk about fragrances that come in as a strategy. I've also given you guys the blend series, the business, leisure, evening, elegant, night out, and daily. That's a really nice way to put together a wardrobe. This one here, this is where I want to capture and take you guys down the rabbit hole of having a certain brand in your collection, in your wardrobe, and how that brand presents itself. These are not only the great ones or the good ones. These are just ones that strategically how they place themselves. So we have the C.R.O.W.N series. This is based around the game of chess, the En Passant, which is a defense mechanism and or actually a offensive mechanism in chess, depends on how you look at it. What this does with the king, the queen, the rook, the bishop, the knight, the pawn, these are great strategy moves to use in perfumes when you're picking wines and when you're picking cigars. And today I really want to tap into what it is to have a particular C.R.O.W.N series, En Passant series of strategy when wearing your fragrances from a certain perfume house, like I stated. And we're going to do the inaugural edition with the Boadicea the Victorious collection, because it's one I'm very familiar with because I've been going through this actually over the last few years, gaining my collection with them and having a lot of fun with them. You're going to see more down the line, but like I said, the first edition is going to focus on Boadicea. So today we're not just talking about fragrances, we're exploring the battlefield, the strategic battlefield with sophistication, where every scent in your actual wardrobe has its purpose, every note has its move. And when you talk about this and these pieces on the chessboard, they can actually help you strategically in life. And that's a fun part of fragrances. This is more than a collection. This is where the olfactory arsenal in your collection, in your wardrobe, becomes curated for those who refuse to play checkers. This is the one for those who demand a life that is built around the game of chess, strategic and sophisticated. So if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, you pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Everyone, welcome to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and the nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's wonderful experience. Today, like I stated, we're going to be making strategic moves. This is the En Passant C.R.O.W.N series where we talk about fragrances that meet the game for kings. That's exactly what we are. That's exactly how sophisticated the move we want to make. So in today's session, this is about each selection coming from a house. Boadicea the Victorious is the first house I'm going to talk about, and this is a brand that blends opulence with armor. And I talk about that often, how you can have grace and how you can have strength. And that's exactly what the strategic moves in perfume can bring you. And in this match, so to speak, every fragrance plays its piece and its part. So let's walk through the board. Let's just talk about it, have fun with it. And if you guys got some gems that you want to drop into the actual game, drop them below. Leave a comment. Let me know. So in this one, let's just do power moves. Let's talk about it, built around purpose. The first one I want to talk about is the King, and let's get right into it. All right, so first, ladies and gentlemen, the King fragrance. When we talk about the King fragrance, we got to have opulence. And this one here, I'm going to create the King move with opulence, and I'm going to talk about it with the scent of Almas, which Almas, it translates and resonates as the diamond fragrance. This one here is, with every board, it revolves around the King, basically. Thinking about this, the traps and the move that you can make, but you always have to stand steadfast next to your King. And so for me, in this particular list, I wanted to make that Almas. It's not loud, it's not brash, but it's the fragrance that everything else moves around to protect. It's a controlled elegance, and that's exactly what a King is. It's refined and it's immovable. Perfect in the King setting. Almas. This one here opens up with a seductive blend of sweet, juicy raspberries and pineapples. It's tart, it's bergamot, it's softness. It has this sweet floral bit that's touched with a little bit of honey, oud, and rose, giving a glow that is polished like a crown's jewel that it is, which is almost a diamond. This one here, this is one that kind of anchors you as a scent. This is one that has the wearer presenting himself or herself as one who matters, the one that has volumes around them and moves with strategic moves. I want to think, when wearing this one, think about making high-stake moves, high-stake meetings, formal wear, formal dinners. Anywhere you want to move in that moment, you're going to smell great. This is one in your arsenal that will set the tone. This is the King. Almas, I'll say this. Almas is one that, when I talk about fragrances in this type of vein, it's one of those scents that it does not chase for attention. And it commands a very warm, pleasant aroma around you, and it has that. And it commands loyalty because that's what the king does. This one here, like I stated, is a very regal scent, opulent, seductive, and one that's immovable. First up in the En Passant Crown series, the king from Boadicea the Victorious, Almas. Get your nose on it. Now next we're going to talk about the queen. Queen has a similar move as the king, but she is the power player. She is not just the presence. She is one who is, I'll say this. Now, Almas is the one that sits on the throne. Dasman is the sword. The queen, she is the one, the most powerful piece on the chessboard. She moves wherever she wants to move, and so that is one that does the scent properly when you talk about the scent of Dasman. Dasman to me is one of those dark, assertive, and unapologetically bold fragrances that you need in your collection. But it also has some of the resemblance of Almas from the deep, sweet, woody oud rose combination that can follow this trend that I love. That I actually, not a trend, but actual DNA that I love from the house of Boadicea. That here, Almas rubbed off on Dasman, and it's a perfect combination. But this one here, the opening, it comes off with that traditional saffron mix and black pepper, making it sexy and fiery and deliberate. This is how she moves. Then comes the rose, but it's not one that's soft. This one here, it's a little bit smoky. It's layered and it's sexy with the oud combination and leather and patchouli. One that the wearer just comes off charismatic and shielding while also being in attack mode. You wear this when you want to feel dominant. You want to feel dominant in a space, because this one here is when confidence counts. It's the only option that you want to pull out. It's a necessity in the collection if you especially one of the people that love rose ouds. Hands down, one of the most phenomenal scents in my collection when it comes to that particular DNA. This one here, if you want to take this one into boardroom energy or gala energy, you definitely can do so. This one here, make the moves that you feel comfortable with and get the moves going, because this in here, make your move or get your moved. You know what I'm saying? That's that type of scent profile. I'll say that again. Make your move or get moved. That is exactly what Dasman is. The key notes: saffron, pepper, rose, patchouli, leather, oud, sandalwood, and a little bit of a smoky vetiver. This what makes this a fantastic style scent that will go perfectly as the queen of the throne. Get your nose on Dasman. Next up, we're going to talk about the Rook. Rook, one of the most stand-fast pieces on the chessboard. Amethyst. The scent of Amethyst is a perfect player for the collection of Boadicea to use as the Rook. Very powerful chess piece. Very powerful, definitive, strategic chess piece. The Amethyst, this is your fortress. That's what that is. That's the Rook. Quiet strength. Unshakable structure. That's what this one does for you. It opens up with a sexy, crisp combo of black currant, a little bit of lemon with a sharpness to it, but the architectural scent profile of this one is one that carves spaces for you. It's one that has this nice floral touch to it, but the overall player in this one that gets you compliments and magnetism is the cinnamon vanilla combination that brings off this ambery feel to you. It gives a plush backbone that every person around you think you smell sexy. That's the fortress. That's the building. That's the standing. That's the holding. Poised and grounded, sexy. Think a day where you're going to be handling business, you might want to wear this one. Keeping it cool, keeping it relaxed, but also being a power player when you want to speak with silence. It's a cologne with composure, a scent of confidence. That's Amethyst. Sexy. Nights out, just like Grand Soir, just like those ambery cinnamon concoctions with the vanilla that have come out over the years that everyone says is the best date night fragrance in their collection. That's what Amethyst does. Just a beautiful scent profile that I think understanding this one on your skin and how it elevates you as a human being, as a man, strategically. It's the standing, it's the architectural, it's the castle. It is where the king and the queen steadfast stand behind and are very comfortable putting out front. Get your nose on Amethyst from the house of Boadicea the Victorious. Next up, let's talk about the Bishop. The Bishop is a encompassing piece on the board, and I'm going to use the Bishop as 1907 Neiman Marcus exclusive. And what this is and what this does, I'll say this: every boardroom and every board needs its intellect. 1907 is your Bishop. This is the scent that doesn't shout, it calculates. That's what the Bishop does. That's what you use it for. It opens with bergamot, pink pepper, which is fresh, yet it's refined. It's one that you will not have any other thing but a pleasant conversation around someone when they smell this on you. The heart of this one is sophisticated. It has a little bit of rose, cinnamon, and a little bit of powdery nuance with an introspective aura that you will just become enthralled with, and so will the people in your aura, the people in your bubble. They're going to love this one. It moves with an olfactory diagram, like this diagonal, type of rhythm. It just cuts through everything with elegance. It flows. It manufactures conversations for you. It manufactures comments for you. It manufactures compliments for you. It does its trick. It is one that when you wear this in a room full of noise, you do not become one that goes into the background. Think of this one as the power player that has the thought of having 5 moves ahead. That's why you use this particular scent. It's perfect for a quiet confidence, private dinners, fun nights out, gallery evenings, or simply just being one of the sharpest dressed persons in the room and you want to smell fantastic. The scent of Neiman Marcus 1907 is the one to pull out. The keynotes in this one that I love to talk about is the bergamot, pink pepper, and cardamom mix, along with that cinnamon and rose, that fresh orris, and the ambergris. You're going to be just smelling wonderful in the world of Boadicea the Victorious when you choose Neiman Marcus 1907. Get your nose on it, fellas. One of the best pieces on the board to move across when you have a collection that you want to start. I'm dropping what it is to understand the strategy of wearing some of these fragrances in my collection and the way I think about my process. These are 6 fragrances that are just bountiful, beautiful, and they don't negotiate. They tell a story. They tell who you are before you enter a room and when you exit a room. Every one I'm telling you is because I've worn it in those specific occasions and I love it in that occasion, and I wear them outside of it, but don't be mistaken. These are strategies. These are actually something that you want to do. Like you go into a meeting, you put on a suit and tie. You go into a club, you put on a nice little pair of slacks and a button up. You go into the gym, you putting on gym shorts and a jersey. That's what it is. These are strategic moves. And this one here is a great move to have in your collection strategically. This is, like I said, Neiman Marcus 1907. Next up, we're going to talk about the night. Now, none of these pieces, when I say and talk about the strategy of building it, yes, they are importance to least importance in a way and in a strategy. But none of these scents have something that deviates from anything other than beautiful or grand or great. They all have a specific type of tonality that you can even place them in different categories however you see fit. That's why I want to have the comments drop. That's why I want to see what your strategy is, because this is for me. Now for me, the night, that's harmonious. It's unpredictable. It's unconventional, and that's one about harmonious that you love. The night is one of those power pieces that you love to have in your collection because it's one of those predictable pieces, yet it has its moves that it makes unpredictably. The one that leaps over the rules and it lands where you want it to land, and that's an unexpected type of convention when you're talking about having a scent. It opens zesty and bergamot with softness of saffron and a little bit fresh herbal tape of eucalyptus. Smoothness. Suddenly, you're swept into this incense and rose combination with a dried out of oud, musk, and a little bit of leather tonality. You've heard the comments. You've heard this is one of the best smelling from the collection, and I confer. This is a great smelling fragrance. This is one that you pick up a scent and you want to be creative and you want to be disruptive. You pulling this out. You smelling great. You having all the attraction on you. You put this on with an outfit that no one else dares to wear if you choose to. You're going to be sexy. You're going to be refined, and you're going to be elegant. This one here, I would say, is a beautiful take for a cool weather night, for a first date, a spontaneous trip, or even a rooftop night where you just want to be lavish and feel good about yourself. Harmonious does not follow any trends. It has some on the market that have come out before it that has a little bit of a take on it, but it's not one that follows trends. Even if you put that scent against this one, it's only 2 that I've ever smelled like this. And that's why I'm saying this is one of those great fragrances, because both of these can be jumped in and have a conjecture as having one of the best scent profiles ever to be made. This one here, it zigs and it zags and it moves with confidence, and it's one that no one should mistake as being a great smelling fragrance. Bergamot, saffron, incense, rose, oud, leathery, sexy profile that you want in your collection. And don't forget that nice, beautiful orris. Can't go wrong with this one. Harmonious. Next up, I'm going to talk about a fragrance that I just put on the list the other day, and I swear it's no need to hesitate and put it back on the list, because that's what it does. It creates this tonality of sensuality around you. And it's one, I'll say this, to me, I would place Bodacious as the pawn, because finally it is one that is your first line of defense, and that's the basic strategy of the pawn. The pawn, it doesn't mistake I'll say this. Let me put it this way. Don't mistake Bodacious for being a basic scent. That's not what I'm saying when I'm placing it as the pawn. This one is cheerful. This one is bright. It's seductive, but it's also daring. It's a scent that has a bold take of sensual pineapple and charm from a little bit of black currant and charm from a lot of the cherry profile that you find in this particular scent. It's wound up around this beautiful scent profile of fruits, sexy, seductive sweetness. And that's just one you cannot go wrong with. A nice, beautiful tartness that's on this journey just intertwines everything around you. You know, nice little floral touch to it in the mid. A nice little base of vanilla and cinnamon and musk. Sweet, it's creamy, it's deep. It has all the tonality that you want the fragrance. And if you wear this in a moment of attack, when I'm talking about going out on the prowl, going out and being flirtatious, you're going to come off as one of the best smelling in the room. This is one that you want to wear when you're making the first impression. Exactly what the actual scent profile is built around, and that's what the pawn is for. It's the first move, the first line, and it is the one that you want to wear when you're going out with the, you're hitting a brunch with some friends, you're hitting a brunch with a beautiful young lady, you're hitting a brunch, you're hitting even a weekend coffee run. This is one that you want to wear. This one here is walking into a room and you're trying to turn heads. You're going to do it with this particular scent. Just that sexy. Pawns, they set the tone. Bodacious, it sets the tone beautifully. That's why it's on this list. That's why this 6-part list has come across. And all 6 of these are phenomenal, sexy smelling fragrances from the house of Boadicea the Victorious. Once again, the pawn, Boadicia's Bodacious. So gentlemen, that's my video for you guys today. I want to know, what's your move? What are you wearing to anchor your scent and your strategy to command the kings, and queens around you? What is it that you're wearing? I got Almas, I got the Unleashing of the Raw Power, Dasman is my queen. I want to play with that with flair and discipline and unpredictable edge. I'm going to wear Boadicea the Victorious, Bodacious at the end. I love these fragrances. They are great ones to have in your collection, and these are ones that I really want to be emphatic about as having these 6-part as a strategy, something that is a move maker, and that's what you want. The C.R.O.W.N series. Welcome to it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, remember, the scent is memory, collecting is legacy, and community is culture, and we're here to dry down and creating the best culture ever on YouTube. Welcome to the family, all my new subscribers. Love to have you. Play boldly, play correct, play passionately. Share this love and share this art of fragrance with those around you and ones who appreciate it. And I trust in you that you'll do so with this video. As always, you guys have a blessed day. I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.